Welcome to our Chef at the Market virtual demonstration brought to you by RV Ag. Each week we will be featuring local chefs who will be sharing recipes using farm fresh products sourced from the RV Ag online marketplace. For more information or recipes, visit our website.
Hello, I'm Christine Wansleben from Mise en Place Cooking School that's located here in Richmond down in Shockoe Slip. There we offer a variety of unique and creative cooking classes. Of course, since March we have pivoted to offering all of our classes now via Zoom. So you can do some live cooking classes with us, both for corporate events as well as for public events. So we can still cook together without being together. And I'm really excited today to show you a delicious brunch dish, breakfast brunch dish. You know, Richmond tends to be a very big brunch town. So we are going to highlight some of the season's best local ingredients by making some goat cheese stuffed French toast. So really simple, but of course before we get started, you want to make sure that you have your mise en place. And mise en place is a French term meaning all things in its place. So we'll go through the prep of the dish so that you are ready to go before you start making your dish. And today we have some wonderful local ingredients, starting with these really delicious peaches here that we got from Little Green Farm. We have Ames Southern Hot Honey, so we're going to add a little bit of spice to our peach sauce. Great Harvest has this wonderful honey wheat bread that you can get either sliced or whole as a loaf. We have some Goats R Us honey lavender goat cheese, and they have a whole variety of flavors of goat cheese. But the honey lavender will be perfect for a breakfast dish. And here we have some beautiful eggs from Windy Hill Farm. So I love the variety of colors and the speckles. So all of this will really just make your brunch dish pop using these local ingredients that you can get at your local market. So as I said earlier, the key to any dish is having your mise en place ready. So knowing that the peach sauce takes about 10 minutes to simmer on the stovetop, we'll get that going and once that is going, we'll go ahead and make and stuff our French toast with the goat cheese. So the first thing that we want to do is peel the peaches. Now, of course, if you wanted to peel the peaches, you can score them at the bottom and plunge them into some boiling water just for about 30 seconds until you see the peel start to come off, and then plunge them into an ice bath. That's one technique. For today, we're simply going to use a paring knife, and you can usually even use a peeler, and we're just going to, by hand, we're just going to peel these peaches. And here we have about 5 peaches here. Use what you have. And this is a really great dish if you have some peaches that are starting to get a little soft. And we're just going to cook them with some brown sugar, some cinnamon, some fresh grated nutmeg, and let them simmer for a little bit. So right now we're just going to cut these in half, take out the pit, and slice them up and put them in our pot. And I like to cut around the pit. You can kind of feel where the pit is there. If they're nice and ripe, usually up, and it comes right off. There we go, and we'll just slice these up. So I'm just going to take these sliced peaches, put them into the pot that has a little bit, probably got about a tablespoon of juice already in there just from the peaches. Then I will add a couple grates of nutmeg. Nutmeg can be very strong, so you just need a little bit of fresh nutmeg. We'll add about, about a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon in there. We'll just put about a pinch in there. Add that in there. So we'll just use about a 1/2 cup. Sprinkle that in there, and with the natural sugars from the peaches as well as the granulated sugar that you're putting in there, it'll cook down to a really nice syrupy consistency. So now we'll put that on the stove top, and we'll get ready to start prepping for our stuffed French toast. So I've put my burner on a medium-low heat because this will take about 10 minutes to simmer down. And Now I'll just place it on there and let it sit. I will watch over it and give it a stir every now and then just to make sure that the sugar doesn't start to caramelize on the bottom, because we want a nice thick syrupy consistency. So now we have our peach sauce simmering on the stovetop. Again, it's about a medium low. So we're going to get our stuffed French toast, the bread, and the filling ready to go. So the first thing we'll do is we'll make our filling. So I'm going to use the entire container of, what is this? This is about 4 ounces of the Goats R Us honey lavender goat cheese. Here, we'll add a little bit of milk to there. That's a couple of tablespoons. And we'll really get this nice and soft. So I have measured out 6 tablespoons of confectioner's sugar. I'm probably only going to use about half of that because, again, you'll want to taste your goat cheese, taste it for sweetness. We're already going to have a sweet syrup to go over it, so you don't want it to be too much. So I'm just going to use about half of that. Okay. And then I am just going to blend those together. You can certainly use a whisk to blend those together, but the goat cheese is already nice and soft, and if you bring it to room temperature, it'll be even easier. I have my filling already ready to go. Now I'm going to make the batter that you're going to dip your French toast in. So here, the last part we'll do is our bread. We will slice and stuff our bread. So I'm going to take 6 eggs, 6 of the local eggs. Get yourself a low pan to put this in. Even a pie plate works great. A pie plate or even a baking, a cake plate. So we're just going to do 6 of these. So I have my eggs, I have my milk, and it just has a little bit, about a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm just going to whisk those together. You want to make sure that those yolks and the whites are really broken up. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. And I have my wonderful loaf of honey wheat. Again, they have all different types of flavors at Great Harvest. You could always use a cinnamon raisin. For this dish, I did not want it pre-sliced because I am stuffing it, so I wanted it a little thicker. So I'm just going to cut off an end. Now the end, save the end. Not only can that be toasted, but you can make wonderful croutons. So I'm going to make this about 1.5 inches thick, almost like a Texas toast thickness. So, like that. We're going to cut a slit, a pocket, into here to put our goat cheese filling in. Now, if you have a piping bag or a zip-top plastic bag, you can certainly put your filling in there and cut off the tip and squeeze it inside. For today, I'm just going to use a spatula. It may look a little messy, but it'll still taste just as good. So I am just going to cut a pocket in the bottom. And then we will put the batter on top. So I'm going to cut a nice pocket, and I'm going to fill it. Well, let's see. We'll try it this way. Again, having a tipped or the plastic bag will certainly work just as well. Be a little easier, you can get in there, but spatula is fine. I might try the fork. This is something fun that the kids can help with too, filling the French toast. So I've given my mixture one good last, I'll just place it in there. Doesn't have to be in there too long, just enough to coat. Turn it over, let that coat. While that's in there, I am going to put a couple of teaspoons, about half a tablespoon of butter, unsalted butter, into my nonstick pan to get us ready for cooking up our French toast. And I'll also take a look at our peach sauce too. So my butter is nice and melted. It's done bubbling, which means it's hot and ready. So I have placed my dipped French toast in there. Make sure that you're using either a wooden or a non-stick spatula in your non-stick pan. If you have a larger pan, of course, you can do more at one time. But my peach syrup is cooking down nicely. Let's see, we'll flip that over. Oh, look at that. Nice and brown, especially the edges. There's nothing like that nice crisp taste along the side there. One of my favorite uses for Ames hot southern honey is if you're in a pinch and you end up buying store-bought fried chicken, drizzle a little bit of this on there and it brings it to a whole nother level. So I'm just going to put a nice squirt in there. And they're also the nicest people. I think you'll find that any of your local farmers and product producers are really just the nicest people. So here is our goat cheese, our lavender and honey goat cheese stuffed French toast on Great Harvest honey wheat bread. And now we have our peach sauce. We've let it cool slightly so it has a nice syrupy consistency. And at the end, we added about a tablespoon of our hot southern honey. And this you can just pour. Make sure you get the syrup because, you know, who needs maple syrup when we have this amazing, look at that color. And here you have it, our locally sourced goat cheese stuffed French toast with our peach syrup on top. Enjoy.